grandparent, aunt, uncle, probation officer, policeman, psychologist, therapist, cop, educator, community leader, grassroots activist, who knows of a story or themselves personally went through a story of how they were mistreated as a black man or how they witnessed a black boy be mistreated, either miseducated, special educated, medicated, incarcerated, or exterminated, for negligence due by way of the school, the psychiatric industry, or the mass incarceration system, then I need them to text my cell number, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. They need to text their name, the city, and the word documentary. So again, for example, I would text Umar, Philadelphia, documentary. Then I'm storing all those on my phone. I'm going to meet with my videographer within the next 2 weeks, and then we'll come up with a plan to get every for the shockumentary of this century. Psychoacademic war against black boys from grade school to the graveyard.
Wow, that's yeah. I might have to put my name up in there too, because and also I want to say this, especially when it comes to Philadelphia, and I hear about how y'all did in Atlanta. Atlanta, right, where y'all had standing room only?
Yes.
And that right there to me is a victory. And because I look around in Philadelphia, I think we really need to reawaken Philadelphia, because I think that there's been a big lull here. When you go out to some of the educational and, lectures, and it's a lot of scarce, maybe it may be a lot of scarcely populated lectures, and we look around and there's not that many people when it should be more people involved. So I really believe that Philadelphia needs to get its thinking cap back on. And I think with you doing a regular lecture here, I think that would be a blessing for for Philadelphia.
Something like that can be used in all of our major cities here, man, Detroit included. I know there have been, a lot of brothers and sisters here over the decades that have been, in some very powerful movements, but I don't know, for various reasons, just that vibe just isn't here anymore. So
yeah.
No, I was finished, Doctor. Continue.
Okay, no, I was just going to say the problem with Philadelphia, because of what it means historically to this country, the FBI, does a very good job of getting a lot of black people to participate, in its covert operations here. I think we have one of the largest undercover FBIs in the country. And also, the Boule was started here. The black elitist secret society was founded right here in Philadelphia. So you got a lot of those old school Negroes in this city who are well entrenched, who do have some of that old black money, so to speak, going back to the beginning of the 1900s. So this city here has an aristocracy and a bourgeoisie, that is probably almost unmatched by any other city in terms of its ability to limit anybody who it doesn't approve of from getting access to the masses. See, Philadelphia is one of those cities where you just can't come in and do your thing. You have to get approved by somebody. You have to be adopted by somebody. You have to be associated with somebody by name. And one of the ways that I've been able to piss off a lot of boulets and bourgeois in this city is the fact that I ain't been sponsored by nobody. I ain't came under nobody. I do my own thing. And so because of that, I've been met with a degree of resistance, which hasn't stopped my success at all, because I'm dealing with grassroots folk who bourgeois people don't even like. But the bourgeois people are upset at me because they don't understand why I just don't shut the hell up and join the clique.
And I think that's interesting because I had to redo when I set this show up, and it kept telling me that I was using a word that wouldn't be appropriate for all audiences. But I'm like, I didn't cuss or anything like that. It just said it just said your name in it, Dr. Umar Johnson. So when Blog Talk Radio, when they looked, I guess when they saw your name or something like that, because then when you tried to call in, you know, you couldn't call in, and all of a sudden the lines were certain, your circuits were busy. So I don't know. That's interesting, though. I've had that happen a couple of times.
You know why it's interesting, man. Stop playing.
But I really want to thank you, Dr. Umar, for being here. Are there any last comments you want to make towards the people to get their minds right a little bit?
Well, the one thing I definitely want to say is to any parents out there or caregivers of black children who are having a difficult time navigating the miseducation system or the mental health system or the juvenile incarceration system as it relates to their children, they can always call on me for help. They just need to send me an email, drumarjohnson@yahoo.com, and let me know what's happening, and I'll respond to them in the best way that I know how. But, you know, in terms of something that black folk can begin to do right now, and that is try to unify with another black person. If we just unify with an additional black person a day, that means every year we would have 365 more soldiers by our side than we had the previous year. Okay? After 10 years, look at how many you have. You see, so if we just practice the art of getting to know somebody who's an African who we don't already know, and trying to either bring them into consciousness and see how we can somehow, you know, come to a common ground so we can work together instead of spending so much of our time intellectually masturbating ideologies which don't mean a damn thing. You know, I think that we could get a little bit further to consciously build friendships and consciously build relationships. Most of the time when we meet new friends, it's unconsciously. We just happen to be out, we meet somebody, and we get it. But to go out of your house every day saying, I'm going to make a friend out of another African today who I don't already know, that helps break down the barriers. Because now if you're at the bus stop or you're in the barbershop, you're at the mall, you say, okay, I haven't made a friend today, and I'm going back home after I leave here. So you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to start a conversation with somebody African here. I'm going to have to ask them if they know about my organization. I'm going to have to ask them, you know, do they know about this brother or that sister or this movement? But if we consciously said we're going to make a new friend or a new associate or a new compatriot in this struggle every single day, that's 365 extra every year.
Destroy and rebuild. Let's get into the real facts and chills. Go ahead and tell them where we at. Destroy and rebuild. From your average show, we break down multiple ways to grow. Destroy and rebuild. Now let the ancestors speak. This African state of mind is not complete. Destroy and rebuild. No longer taking secondary. It's freedom by all means necessary. Destroy and rebuild. 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 We broadcast live and direct. Chills put the groundwork in full effect. Die circumstances demand your respect. It's time to advance, something more than a check. I got my eyes open wide enough to see the threat. Liberation is promised, the fight I won't forget. So grab your pen and pad, be sure to take notes at this moment in time. Cause information is coming that'll free your mind.